Vitor, of course, with a lot of live stage experience, but don't discount the live experience of Not Afraid, playing in CRCC, both the spring and fall split. Getting a lot of opportunities there against some of the best, like the other qualifier here, Higher, and of course, former Nova Esports star AUK.
Vitor going to be running a quick cycle, Miner, Bats, and the Snowball again. Not Afraid on the other side. You know, with Not Afraid's gameplay, a lot of players are going Miner plus Bomb Tower and all that. He often chooses Tesla, so it's going to be interesting to see if he uses Tesla in this game #1 match.
You know, we've seen some unorthodox picking. If you did watch any of the CRCC coverage out of some of the players from that region, Higher, with a lot of decks where you might see 1 or 2 differences from the meta for the CRL side of things, Not Afraid also maybe following that same suit.
Not Afraid with a pretty large advantage in terms of Elixir. We're going to see if he wants to go in with that. Not Afraid, this is from his gameplay from a while ago, but he did use a lot of Archer Queen, and this is a deck that looks like it could be the Archer Queen Miner deck again, but I'm starting to think that it might just be Tesla Poison. We're gonna have to wait and see.
Have not seen an evolution yet from Vitor, but you do see multiple evolved cards on the board. You see the Skeletons, you see the Bats, none of those in that evolution slot. Probably not the Knight with the Valkyrie here as the mini tank for Vitor, so you gotta wonder, is he going Archers in this situation?
Right there, Little Prince going to come out. Just waiting to see what his actual building is. There we go, going to be using the mortar and going to be using the Evo mortar as well. Valk to protect from the Bomb Tower Splash, and let's see if he can actually protect his mortar and get some chip damage.
Well, at the very minimum right now, he's forcing out lots of responses from Not Afraid, so he might not get the mortar connection here, although that should, it does get one off. That's a huge connection that gives the lead to Vitor as we go into double Elixir.
That was such a beautiful play right there. Every single play Vitor made had to be picture perfect, correct tile, correct placement, just to get one shot for the mortar, and that could be the difference between winning and losing.
And mortar distracted by the Ice Spirit that goes full send on the other side, 2308 the mark. Bats cleaned up by the Royal Delivery, 2254 on the left-hand side. With a few seconds left before sudden death overtime, Vitor has the lead, but Not Afraid does have damage in both lanes.
And right there, another prediction scale is not necessarily from Vitor, but I'm seeing so many predictions from everybody, and look at that! Not Afraid coming in with a prediction on top of the Evo mortar. It is so important. On a regular mortar, it's good, but on an Evo mortar to waste it, that is gorgeous from Not Afraid.
Skeletons do not get onto the Miner, so it will go ahead and get a full bit of chip on that right-hand side. Still, though, look at this. The Guardian comes in, and you see Not Afraid not happy about that one as he's forced to play his Knight in response.
Right there, he's going to struggle against this next mortar push, potentially going in with a Miner Poison from both players. 200 HP separated into 2. Vitor going to be able to clean it up, but not before it gets 3, maybe 4 swipes right there on the tower.
And look at those Bats, the little extra bites, taking that tower down, extending the lead for Vitor.
It is just predictions on predictions right there. Poison going to be taking out the Scalers right there. Not going to get any value. And this Miner is getting a ton of chip damage. Not Afraid is going to take the lead. That is a huge push.
Yeah, the Miner of Vitor changing directions off of the tower as he's chosen to go for a race rather than go for the defense. Still, look at this. The damage in 611, 862.
Yeah, right there. I think that bat, that singular bat got maybe 5 shots. Beautiful right there from the Valk. This is gorgeous gameplay from both players. Not going to over-defend against that Knight. He's going to try and set up for another push. Finally gets a gorgeous poison down right there.
And the Miner plus Snowball. Log actually ends up hurting Not Afraid, and Vitor takes this one by 589.
And I am just blown away from this gameplay. I could not believe how many predictions the Skeletons, 2 seconds before the Miner gets placed, the prediction Snowballs, the prediction Bomb Tower, it was just perfection, well, almost perfection from both players.
Well, you mentioned, and while he has played live on stage before, a lot this year, it's not just being live on stage, it's the World Finals feel. Not Afraid opening up with Skeletons in the back. That will be his evolution. And Little Prince available in game number 2, big for him, and Vitor goes Sparky.
Okay, Vitor just going to be using just one of the better decks in the meta, so that way he doesn't really have to think as much. Just try and make his opponent just make more pushes overall. And right there, Little Prince going to get a lot of value, taking out the Sparky completely. Not Afraid using Tesla like I was hoping.
Is Not Afraid, again, I was about to say, there's no way he's using Expo here instead. The wall breakers come out, and Not Afraid, of course, known as an Expo player, but I don't think we're seeing Expo wall breakers.
Yeah, but Miner is out of cycle for him, so still not totally sure what the next 2 cards are going to be. You would think just a small spell and a big spell, maybe NATO and Magic Archer. It's not often where, oh, Drill. Okay, Drill makes sense right there from Not Afraid.
And one Archer will go to work on that Drill. That's the evolution card for Vitor as his Goblin Giant goes, picks things up. And he's got a pretty big push coming down. The Tesla set up here for Not Afraid to contend with the large Goblin.
Valk placed on top, going to be able to clean up the left lane. The right lane not going to be a problem whatsoever either. 125 left in the game, slight advantage for Not Afraid.
So Dark Prince, phenomenal as a counter here for the Drill, and we'll see Vitor try to get his cycle back in position for that to be what controls here. When you look at the options for Not Afraid defensively, Tesla obviously nice here for the Goblin Giant. Valk a little tanky. But how do you feel about this matchup, Josh?
Yeah, right there. Well, as long as he defends the mini P.E.K.K.A., I would assume there's a lot to be done on Not Afraid's side. It's going to be just whether or not he can actually make these defenses. Little Prince, we should see the Valkyrie come out soon. He needs to place it down instead. The Evo Skellies plus the Guardian going to be able to defend that court. I mean, he didn't give up a lick of damage right there. Great stuff from Not Afraid.
But now Sparky set up, slight elixir advantage for Vitor, 32 seconds left. Fireball goes to just take a bit off, and as soon as the Fireball comes out, of course, split those Evolved Archers.
Right now, it's just dependent on whether or not Not Afraid can defend out. He has the deck to be able to do it, it's just whether he actually gets it done.
Fireball onto the Little Prince, and the minions take it out. Absolutely pandemonium here on the board, 10-40. And just as you said, he only had to play defense. The defense falters, and Vitor takes the lead.
Yeah, a massive advantage for Vitor, and he's still going to have to defend these archers right there. And that Tesla, it's kind of interesting. I mean, he's going to be able to cycle back to it, but you never really want to see your building down to 20% health. We almost could have seen Vitor go in with a Goblin Giant, try and steal a win right there. Instead, just going to play just calm and collected. He knows that with these good pushes, he can beat Not Afraid's defense.
And not the Evolved Archers, so they're not able to get onto that, but the rage prediction onto the Skellies does enough to get deep into enemy territory. Archer, Dark Prince, Fireball has to come out, and a little more chip damage forces the Fire Spirit as well. Vitor pouring it on as we get closer to triple.
Goblin Giant coming in, Dark Prince to protect it. The rage could come down. No, instead going to snipe it with the Evoed Archers.
Boy.
If he goes down with the rage, that is a Goblin Giant on the tower. He's going to take it.
Vitor75 moves on in the upper bracket with a brilliant display.
2-0, the sweep from Vitor75, and we see it, the patented Vitor75 smile. I've been waiting for it, it's been a year.